What week is it? I will be smiling the whole way through. What week is it? What's up, my little boomers? How are you? What's up, my little boomers? How are you? We're about to crack open a bottle of wine, okay? I want to show you guys a little something before we jump in. How you doing? Minimum a ramble time, because what week is it this week? Anyone in the chat, please? What number? Week 10. What is week 10? Oh, excuse me. I'm going to feel a little silly today. Silly. You silly wabbit. I'm excited. I'm pumped. What week is it? It's podcast week. That's right. It's podcast week. I backed myself into a corner by promising to get on iTunes. I did. I backed myself into a corner by saying that we're going to go on iTunes. That's not my decision, y'all. I didn't realize what I was getting into in terms of getting approved until I got approved. We're going to get into it. Look, who's that? Who's that? Who's that? Who's that in the iTunes store? Among the greats. Just right in there with the greats. Who is that? Who is that? Life Hacks with the Wealthy Trainer podcast. As I was working on this, as I was failing fast in order to get a podcast approved on iTunes, having no clue, I'm just looking at the chat. I read that you will have to fail many times, get declined many times to get your podcast approved. This is podcast week. Really, really quick. I have an agenda. We're going to go quick. It's going to be super hands-on. The goal today is to get your podcast approved in the iTunes store. Okay, that's it. That's what we're doing today. Before we do so, I'd like to crack open a bottle of wine, or in my case, I'm going to crack open, this is going to be a celebratory, I love that word, a celebratory Rockstar. It's the Red Berry Rockstar. It's very near and dear to me. You will rarely see me open a Red Berry Rockstar. Rarely. This is only for celebratory purposes. And as I was learning how to apply and get approved by iTunes, is anyone approved in the iTunes store here? Please put it in the chat. It's a huge deal. Just so you know. I did not know this. I thought it was just do it and you're in. I thought it was submit your entry, automation takes place, and welcome to Apple iTunes Store. But it's not like that. It's a manual check. Really quick, I'm going to take a breath. I'm excited today. I read over and over again that you may have to modify your approach. You may need to adjust what you have. You may not even get approved. And when you do receive that message from Apple that says, congratulations, you've been approved. You are now in the iTunes store. One gentleman said, well, celebrate that day. Crack open a bottle of wine because it's a big day. You're now in the official iTunes store. So I'll explain to you guys what happened quickly. Then I'm going to show you how to do it yourself. Shall we celebrate? I think so. Let's crack it open. Ooh, a little splash. Almost like a champagne bottle. It went. Cheers. That was a meaningful cheers. Let me pour a glass and we will get started. As you know, if you've been following along in our journey in the Octo Content Model, week 10 is podcast week, but we have already cut out our sound clips, okay? We've done that. We've kind of prepared. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to do this a little bit backwards because we're going right into teaching mode. All I'm going to say about podcasting, Mark's thoughts, okay, before we jump in. We're fast. It's for 6 minutes. I celebrated. I opened up my celebratory drink. I took a sip. I poured myself a glass. If you're congratulating me, which I see, thank you very much. I will be congratulating you all as well very soon. You know why? Because we're doing it right. So, this is a whole new world. It's a whole new world, y'all. Podcasting, a voice, you will be discovered on iTunes. And this is where many of you are going to pass me. If you think I'm ahead. Some of you may be ahead. It depends how you look at that. But in fame, in terms of being recognized or well known, in terms of being known, you may surpass me. Some of you here. I believe you will. Because this is a whole new world. And I've spoken to many of you. And you are better. Well, I'm not saying I'm good, but I know you're more. Better is a weird word because that is very subjective. 7-Eleven, look at that. But you are more suited, many of you, for podcasting than I am. I re-listen to myself and I'm like, oh, okay. I'm a little squirrely. Like sometimes if it rolls off okay on this because I do hand gestures and my hair makes up for my squirreliness. But I'm very squirrely. I'm like, here, there, I'm the other way. I'm like, oh yeah, and one more thing. And sometimes when you listen to yourself, you really pick up on your screw ups. It's the worst. Because at least, like I said, when I watch myself, I get mesmerized by my beautiful mane that I lose track. I'm not focusing on what I'm saying sometimes. As I'm rewatching myself, I'm just like in a trance looking at this hair. But when you listen to me, when I listen to myself, just like that, my grammar's all over the place. I don't finish a thought. I switch from I'm going down one road with my thoughts, and I'll just go, and I'll never come back to the original thought. I'm sure many of you right now, like you're at home, my little boomers, and you're going, yep, that's you. That's you. But I don't realize it. But when I listen to myself without the visual, I'm like, oh my God, what a mess. That guy is a mess. He may know what he's talking about, but he's a mess. I should have called my podcast The Rambling Man. Honest to God, I may reconsider. Okay, so get ready. This is a new page. It's a different chapter. It's a completely different octopus leg to syndicate ourselves. You should be extremely excited for this one. I think this will open up a lot of doors for many of yous. I really do. So I'm going to just show you, I'm going to go a little backwards today because here's how podcasting works. Let's assume you've followed through. Oh, here's a great question, guys. Who here has cut out the sound clips from, I don't know what week it was. I'm going to guess it was week number 7 or 6, where we stripped the sound. We did it, oh good, she's off. We did it for Alexa Flash briefings, but we also stripped the sound from your entire show. We just stripped the sound. We have the intro, which is the 5-minute blurb, the little curiosity blurb or the little highlight blurb. Then we jump right into your whole piece of content, but just the voice. Then at the end, we have the call to action, which, by the way, is incredible. Because we, in the Laboom Squad, we've made our call to action kind of like a micro story. Remember, guys, if you followed through with what we've been doing, we do a micro story in like 30 seconds. I'm like, I was a computer programmer. It's like we do a little mini micro hero's journey. And then we do a call to action. Go to thewealthytrainer.com. We verbalize it. I mean, you guys remember, right? Who did? There you go. You guys did the sound. More of you than I thought, actually. I mean, some of you I knew for sure. But some of you, yeah. Some of you are saying yes, we probably didn't. Who didn't? Who did not do it yet? Can you admit to that? Don't worry about the, I gotta go chewing ice again. Don't worry about falling behind, because now you have, those of you that are in the Dirty Dozen, which is, I think we're over 20 of us now. We're not hundreds. There's not a lot of people. A lot of people don't see. I'm going to do a squirrely moment right now. Squirrely moment. I'm in the left field. Then I shared my thought. Many of you, your lives are about to change by going on iTunes and starting to podcast. You may actually find your voice. Pun intended. Okay? You may find your voice. This may be your calling. It's a whole different world. That was my thought. Be pumped up about that. That's it. Now I want to talk about the closure. It's the Dirty Dozen. I'm going to call it the resale rights, but it's more than that. The ones who are selling my courses for themselves. Okay? 2 days ago, last Tuesday, I opened up the Dirty Dozen. I opened up the 13, a little more. But we didn't get hundreds and hundreds. I think we're only 24, and now it's over. It's over. There's no more. Those of you who are asking to get it, because I let some people in at $197, a few more people, the ones who took action. It's that simple. Then it was $297. Now it's no more. It's done. It's over. You don't have to ask. You don't have to inquire. It's done. The only people who can resell my course, those 2 courses, are the ones who are in, I think we're 28 of us maybe? Maybe 30? Maybe 30? I don't think 30 though, maybe 29. So from 30, we probably, did we double? Yeah, I guess we doubled, okay? We doubled from 13 to about 30. It's over. That conversation's over. If you'd like to buy the Octo Content model, if you'd like to buy all the copies, Laboomers are seeing this now, but unless you cleverly screenshot them, if you cleverly screenshot them, you can't resell them. Consequences if you do, shall we get into that? No, if you screenshotted them, I'm not going to go after you. But if you didn't screenshot them, buy the course off somebody who's selling them. We have 30 resellers right now. I just jumped into that because people are going to start. People always want the thing after the thing is done. People always kind of wait till the clock runs out and they're like, I want the 197. So that's done. Okay. That no more. We don't need to discuss that anymore. I will see you guys on Brand Resume in a couple of weeks. You will get the email. Everything's good. If you have not gotten into the school, social media is thenewhollywood.com. If you paid the $197, I don't think anyone got it at $297. So it was like people didn't get, the people who got in at the $197, there were no $297 sales. So if you got in at $197, go to socialmediaisthenewhollywood.com or the initials, which would be SMITNHW. Social media is the new Hollywood.com. Register for free. I match you up with your PayPal, or I just know who you are. There's only, like I said, 30 of you. I'll figure it out. And if I'm unsure, I'll send you an email to you. I think everyone's set up. There may be 5 of you who are not. So be sure to do that. You'll be able to download the modules. Go look at last week's replay in the Laboom Squad private group for instructions. Done. House cleaning done. Okay, the podcast, guys. Here's how this works. It's awesome how it works. I'm going to visually explain with my hands. Then, well, here's what I wrote. I'm doing the intro. It's really cool, eh, guys? Because of our calls to action within the podcast, it turned out so well that it will generate leads. People will come to your blog, and as your viewership increases on iTunes, it's going to increase fast too. There's tons of people downloading podcasts. It's a whole new world, like I said. So because we implemented the calls to action at the end, that's spectacular. Every episode we say, go to my blog. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Because new people are going to run into a new episode every day. So if you had like a story podcast, it wouldn't matter. They wouldn't go back in your library and find it. So the fact that we added our micro story at the end with a call to action, it's genius. And also what's genius, future genius, is that we'll be able to do podcast episodes. I'm doing this. I am definitely doing this. Once my viewership starts coming up and regular listeners start tuning in, I will use marketing in my podcasts. I will. I'm going to say, I want to share with you guys 3 steps to blah, 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 blah. Then I'm going to say, I'm going to provide value in the podcast. Then I'll say, I have a special webinar happening next week. Just go to asklalonde/. One-time event. Guys, you should show up. It's going to be a blast. You know? Come on. Come on. We're marketers. They just let a wolf into the henhouse. Like in the McDonald's movie. They just let a marketer into a new platform, into a whole new world. We can extract from that. You're talking to a guy who extracts from social media and doesn't use social media. I'm going to extract into my list. People register for a webinar. Heck, it could be the wheels are turning so hard it hurts. It could be guiding them to, every now and again, every 7 episodes, 7 to 1. Think about this. We are professional marketers. If you follow the methods within of everything I talk about, it's very advanced, but it's kind of always the same thing. Whatever makes you $1 million here will make you $1 million there, will make you $1 million there, will make you $1 million there. The concepts of our methodologies, Laboom Squad has very intricate, advanced methodologies, way better than most people. A lot of these influencers, here I go. I guess this is my thought. A lot of these influencers, it was a lot of timing on their side. They got on YouTube. I'm not making excuses. We're going to climb, and we're going to get our timing as well. We're going to get timing on Alexa, and I think we're going to do pretty good on podcasting. Whew. Technicalities. This is how this works. We optimize our sound cloud the way we want it, and we don't pay attention to the iTunes. Whatever we edit, I'm teaching, and we're going to do it live, but you need to understand what we're doing. And I learned this. So this is new to me, so please pay attention. This is not common knowledge. If I didn't know it, it's not common, okay? We're in the uncommon. I've always wanted to be the uncommon amongst the uncommon, okay? That's what we are. So here's how this works. Our SoundCloud is our source. Whatever we edit there will be edited automatically. This is awesome. The geek, the nerd inside of me is just like so excited. Whatever we edit on SoundCloud will automatically update on iTunes. Okay? With what we're going to do. If we decide to go to Spotify and have a week number 16, or maybe, if we decide to go to Spotify, if we decide to go to Stitcher, if we decide to go to Google Play, these are all podcast platforms, big ones. Spotify, I think, may be bigger than Apple now. If we decide to do that, how would it sound if all you need to do is modify your SoundCloud and all of those update automatically? Okay? So when you don't have to add a podcast episode to iTunes. You add it to your SoundCloud in a certain way, and your iTunes updates is all connected. Can I get an amen for that? Please, in the chat. I'm going to say amen. Thank you, my Lord. Thank you, my Lord. Thank you, my Lord. And I'm going to have a cheers. Amen to that. And here's what's even cooler. This is my own little hack I decided to figure out. I'm spitting it all out right now, so then when we do it, I don't have to re-explain it. I'll just kind of go through it. But we have a way. I have a way. I figured out a darn way, to, because once it's on iTunes, it's on iTunes. What if the description, you want to change it? You can't change it in iTunes. What if there's a typo and now the episodes are way back? All you have to do is edit it in your SoundCloud. Go to a special place called the casting. I'll show you a special site, and put a resync button, and it takes 24 hours, but it resyncs everything. Isn't that cool? Like if I ever wanted to change, you know what I mean. I think you know what I mean. There's that. Okay. So what I've done, here's what happened. I got my email. I got my message Monday. I got my approval message. I was so happy. You've been approved on iTunes. But I made my submission on Saturday. So on Saturday, I submitted properly. On Monday, I received my approval. 3 days it took. They say 5 before you get declined. I got approved immediately, or 2 days later. So there are reasons for that. We're going to create your cover art, 14 by 14, professionally with Canva. It's got to look good. It cannot be crappy. They consider that. They manually verify your podcast, yo. Apple, manually. It's not a machine or automation. They look, they listen, they look at your cover art. It's got to be outstanding. There's so many podcasts getting rejected right now. We have to stand out. It's kind of like applying for a job. You need your resume to stand out, okay? So we're going to do the cover art properly and the description. There is a structure to your description. We're going through that. We're going to take time on that. It's not your story. It's different. There's a way to craft your description for your podcast. And once again, you put that baby on SoundCloud, it's everywhere. Are you guys excited? I'm excited. So I think what I'm going to do right now is, I recorded. You're going to have to rewatch the replay, because I'm going to have to go fast, because on Saturday, when I applied, I recorded that process. So you guys, instead of me telling you, go apply here, I went through the whole process of me applying with the phone verification, with your iTunes account. I went through that whole process. So I'm going to plug that in. It's 3 minutes. What is it? 4 minutes, 3 minutes long, 4 minutes long, when I just apply and cross my fingers. So maybe I'll do that now. Want me to do that now? Want me to plug that part in of when I applied? Or do you want to do the work first? What do you guys want? Let's do the work first. Because you're not going to apply anyways. You're not going to apply a crappy podcast. You're not going to apply. You need 3 episodes. So let's do the work. Let's prep your SoundCloud. Let's get your album art. Let's do that now. And I'm coming back out to you guys here. Like I'm going to screen share. We're going to do that. Come back out, see if there's any questions on the work we did. It'll take 20 minutes probably. We're creating cover art here. We're creating cover art and we're creating your description. And I need to explain how to create your description. Then I'll come back out and I'm going to see if there's any questions. If you guys understood that, like we're live. Hello, we're live. So I can actually answer you guys now. And then after that, I'm going to plug in the video where I submit it to the podcast. And then, I will come back. I will share with you guys how to edit your episodes if you need to. And then, guys, and maybe we should all put reviews for each other. Do you want to do that? Do you know what we should do? We should support each other. Do you want to do that? Because I have no reviews right now. I should give myself a 5-star review. Because, yes, let's do that, guys. Hey, we're 100 Laboomers. We're 100 Laboomers. Go in the private group. Once you get approved only, obviously, put your podcast link and I'm going to go to each one of yours too. I will. I promise. I will. For this, it's important. I will go on each one of you. You got to give a 5-star review. Don't give a negative review. That doesn't help the algorithm. Even if you hate me, don't do that. It's not cool. I would never do it to you. Put a 5-star review. Now I just invited hate. God damn it, Mark. Oh, shit. Okay, well, put a 1-star review. Put a 5-star review for each of us. Let's support each other. Let's see what happens. I had to go through therapy because of the hate that come in my way. It's absolutely insane. I didn't go to therapy. I had to go to self-therapy. I'm like, oh my God, am I that awful? But then I'm like, I'm really working on separating myself from that. But I think it'll always get under your skin. Almost. That's a masterful skill. I don't care about haters, but when it gets personal and it just starts, I must prepare myself for the big time, but it's just, I don't know. After listening to Charlie and listening to Charlie D'Amelio and Taylor Swift, and I mean, we're not going to be that big. I don't know. Social media is the new Hollywood. But after watching the hate they get, or Ellen DeGeneres, the hate she gets, because I researched it, I'm like, how do you deal with this stuff? I'm like, it's crazy. Like, I don't know if I could handle the hate Charlie gets. Charlie D'Amelio on TikTok, it's ridiculous. And she's a newbie at this too, but she's got 35 million followers. That's bound to happen, right? Squirrel. That was a squirrel. So yeah, let's support each other with reviews. If you're in, you're in. If you're not, you're not. The cream always rises to the top, y'all. The quality always rises to the top. You got to go through a hate chasm. You got to go through a hate chasm. So be it. I'm going to share my screen. And let's get your SoundCloud ready. Let me know when you see my screen. I'll be back out. I'm coming back out. Okay, can you guys see my screen, please? There has been some modifications for a reason. But first, please let me know if you see my screen. I'll take a sip of my berry, was it fruit punch Rockstar, I guess. Thank you. Okay, we're going to start here with the celebration email. This is the email. It's really small, but for some reason it doesn't get bigger, even if I try to increase the fonts on my email. This is just my Outlook. This is what you'll get when your podcast is successfully submitted. You'll see how excited I am when I submit it. So that was a big moment. It said, "Dear podcast provider, your podcast feed." This is what we're going to create. It's called an RSS feed. That's what we're going to create with your SoundCloud, okay? It says, I just want to show you the emails so you know what's going on when you go through this process. It says your podcast feed was successfully added and is under review. And here is the message that you want to see a couple of days later. Apple Podcast Show approval. Whoo, this is a good day. This was just a couple of days ago. Your podcast located at, it shows you, they give you your RSS feed. This is what you're going to use for everything, including Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher. If we have time in the following weeks, we may make a bonus session for this. We're not going to do it today because I haven't done it yet. But this is the feed you will use, okay? Excuse me. This is the feed that you will make your edits on, and it's your feed on SoundCloud. This may sound a little foreign right now, but you'll get used to it once we create your feed. And it goes, has been approved. You should expect to see it on the iTunes store within the next few hours. When it's available, you will be able to access it with the URL below. You'll be able to find your podcast through a search on iTunes within the next 2 days. I was like, no way. So then I clicked this and look at this. Isn't that freaking cool? How cool is that? Hey, Ellen, how you doing? I'm here. Hey, Ellen. Oh, Ellen, what's up? I'm here. Oh, Ellen, hello. Oh, look, whoever you guys are. Nice to be amongst you all. Pretty cool. It's kind of a big moment, TV and film. You know, this is, we called look, Roscoe the dog right there. We called 2020 the year of discovery, didn't we, guys? Well, this is it. We're in a good place. So, I basked in this for a while. I listened to it a bit. Listen to the call to action, okay? I'm going to play it on iTunes. Hey guys, being fearful can Hold on. Be... listen how cool it sounds. Just the intro. Hey guys, being fearful can be physically dangerous. It can cause you bodily harm. How's that for a headline? I want to show you guys something. Pretty awesome, eh? Okay, caution. So that's the intro. Let's listen to the outro. Listen to this. Actually, you know what? Let's listen to it on the actual Apple podcast site. Oh, excuse me, guys. I'm really at the tail end of this thing, this virus thing. So I'm going to open it in iTunes. This is where it really hit me, I think. You will need an iTunes account. Will I go through that? I'm not sure. This is where it really hit me, I think. When I opened it in iTunes and I searched it, and I searched the wealthy trainer here. I just searched the wealthy trainer. Wealthy trainer in the actual iTunes store. Did I click enter? Yeah, I did. And then I saw these, and I saw this right here. This is when it really hit me. This is in the store. And I saw this. I'm like, whoa. And then I saw my episodes. You know, we're branding ourselves, right? It's no different on this. When people type in the wealthy trainer, look, I've only got 3 episodes. What's going to happen when we have 100? Which we will. I mean, it's never going to end. So look at that. Isn't that super cool? Okay, so I want to show you guys what it sounds like here, but it's the same thing. But the topic today is the 9 strategies that I used. I want to show you guys the call to action. When I was in my 24 company, I was up to like 120 RLG. That'll be a except I was not a little dip ownership. Bad. Completely off track. A highlight, it's off. Marc Lalonde signing off. Have an amazing Wednesday, folks. Okay, ready? Listen to how cool this sounds. This is our outro. This is our micro story. Listen to how cool this sounds on the platform without the visual. Let me turn up the volume a little bit. Okay, here we go. who lost his way to drugs and alcohol and eventually became homeless. From rock bottom, I cleaned up, I clawed my way back into the workforce, I shifted into running my own business. I've been retired from the corporate world for 7 years now, and I've never looked back. If you want to follow me on my journey or maybe even connect further, you can either go to my blog at thewealthytrainer.com. That's thewealthytrainer.com, or you can click the link in the description if you're watching this video. Marc Lalonde signing off, and I'll see you on the inside. Bye-bye now. Okay. Oh, it's playing right here. Okay. Okay, am I back? Am I good? I never really left. I was just a little confused. I had the iTunes open and I had the Apple Podcast preview open. How cool is that? That is so awesome. Okay, now bragging is done. It's your turn to get up here, okay? Everything's good? We're clear? I've been like swapping sound here and I had a bunch of windows open. We're good? You guys hear me on the webinar? This is what we want. Now, let's go to the source of it all. The source of it all is our SoundCloud. We already went through the process of setting up our episodes. Our cover art was done. We're using Canva in this training. So I'm going to use Canva. I'm going to start by doing, let's go and start by doing the actual RSS feed and description, or do you want to do the cover art? Let's do the cover art really quick, because here's what you need to update. First things first, you need to update your description on your SoundCloud now. So your SoundCloud will be committed for your podcast. If you want to use this, the title will be. What I'm saying is iTunes will grab the title from your SoundCloud. I used to call my SoundCloud just The Wealthy Trainer, but now I'm calling it Life Hacks with the Wealthy Trainer for now. If I wanted to update it, it would update it on iTunes, okay? So, same thing with the cover art. I don't upload the cover art onto my iTunes. It takes it from here. So now you notice here, I'm going to click that. It's a square. It's 14 by 14. They have it pre-formatted. We're going to go create one real quick in Canva just for kicks, so you can see how quickly you can do yours. And they have amazing templates in Canva. But the reason I'm specifying that it's square is because even though it shows up round on SoundCloud, it shows up square on iTunes. If I wanted this to look good in SoundCloud, well, then I would have to move the life here. But I don't care how it looks on SoundCloud. I care how it looks on the podcast platforms. Make sense? So, because I'm a perfection guy when it comes to this kind of stuff. And I'm like, well, that doesn't look good here. Maybe you want to make it look good on both. But let's be real here. I think it's more important that you focus on the cover, on it as a cover, okay? So let's go do that now. Let's go create cover art. Ready? Canva.com. I'm going to go fast. I'm going to go fast because I know I'm going to be scrambling like I always do. In Canva. I'm not a Canva expert. And guys, I'm looking at the chat, eh? Let me take a sip. It's already been a little sloppy today as I'm switching over from podcast to iTunes to... It's going to continue to be sloppy, but we will get it done. We'll get the job done. And as I'm looking in the chat, I may ask you guys for help, okay? Is that okay? Can I ask for help once in a while? Here I am. I'm in my Canva account. We went through this in the session where we create our quotes. Where do I want to go? Do I want to go home? I want to go home, or do I want to go... I'm going to go home, and I'm going to go podcast art. I think that's what I put. Is that what I put? Podcast templates, maybe? That's all I can see. Okay, that looks good. Yeah, this is where I went. They're square. This is it. This is it. Look how, like, even just that, doesn't that look cool? But let's create one. Let's create a cool one. Look at all the options you have here. Like, I don't know, is it just me? Or does that look like... There's almost nothing to do to these. It's almost like the more you play with it, the worse it'll look. Many of you have logos anyways. Like, look at... Double clicking. Podcast hosted by Marc Lalonde. It's completely free, by the way, because it says free right here. Are you guys enjoying watching me work? It's great, eh? Now you see why I make all this money. I'm such a professional, I'm such a pro at this. I'm being sarcastic, guys, obviously. Yes, this is the life of this is me working on graphics. I hope you're enjoying your time with me on this fine Thursday. It's as raw as it gets. If this was not live, oh my God. This reminds me of April Marie Tucker when she used to do graphics, and I used to say, oh my God, why are you wasting all this time? Why don't you practice before you get up there and teach? She would this is just an MLSP person. When I started, I'm like, oh my God, this is I have a migraine. I'm like, I have a migraine. I'm watching this lady play with graphics for like an hour. I'm like, I cannot get that time back now. Okay, grind, or I like this. Grind or get left behind. A podcast hosted by Marc Lalonde. Be current or become irrelevant. Boom. How's that for a podcast? Episode 1. You are outdated. You are a dinosaur. Are you a dinosaur? It's kind of funny. I say, are you a dinosaur? Is because I was tuning into a training on a platform, or I was tuning into a training of a system, or I gotta be careful, of a leader, I guess you can say, that I used to study from, and they have not changed their methodologies, and they're no longer relevant at all. I'm like, oh my God, how are you succeeding with this? Like, technology, social media, and marketing has advanced so much since 3 years ago, and you're teaching the same stuff. You are such a dinosaur. Like, I'm saying that in my head, obviously, but I think this is a perfect podcast. A podcast hosted by Marc Lalonde. Grind or get left behind. Be current or become irrelevant. Episode 1. Are you a dinosaur? Love it. But in this case, guess what? Guess what? Guess what? You are not going to put episodes unless you're doing it for SoundCloud. Then you could put episode. But in this case, for this, wow, we spent a lot of time on that. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize. You can cut this out in the training if you're reselling the course. Here's what I recommend you do. Hey, to all of yous that are reselling this course, I'm going to show you guys next week how to crop out parts of the training and add yourself. This is a part you want to probably crop out. I'm going to explain that when I come out, okay? So here, because this is your cover art for your entire podcast, you don't want to put the episodes here, okay? So here you literally want to go and say whatever, your brand, or take it out completely. I will go the wealthy trainer. I would be very comfortable. I would be extremely comfortable. I want to put it all caps. Yes, that detail just caught my eye. I would be extremely comfortable, with using this just the way it is. That would look amazing in the iTunes store, for sure. That would get approved in a second. A podcast hosted by Marc Lalonde. Grind or get left behind. Be current or become irrelevant. The Wealthy Trainer. Beautiful. Beautiful. I love it. I'm going to download it. It's free, right? Yes. PDF. Why are they doing that? No, you want JPEG for that. Okay. Download. And is that it? That is it, folks. Okay. Cover art done. It does. Oh, wow. Oh, my God. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Isn't that gorgeous? Now, you have the flexibility. There's a lot of options, as you can tell. You're going to have to play around, as you can also tell. Or you may be a Canva Pro. Okay, that took way too long. Let's go take care of the rest. So now, oh my God, that should have taken 2 minutes. Cut that out if you're doing the training for yourself. Okay, guys? Now it's time for me to shine. Let's go. We're going to go take care of the rest of your stuff by clicking on the 3 dots. This is where I can make up for my amateur hour. You guys just went through amateur hour. Time to step up, Mark. Let's go. 3 dots here. From here, you want to go down to settings. In settings, once you are here, you want to go to the content option. They have already programmed your RSS feed. This link is extremely important for when you submit to iTunes. I'm not going to submit now because I pre-recorded the video. Remember I told you guys? But this is where it's located. What you need to focus on here is TV and film is the best category for you to use. That's what I use. We're doing shows. We're doing content and shows. There's the author name. You put the author name here. The next thing that's important is, you see where it says include RSS feed? You do not want to put that. You want to include that in every episode that you want iTunes to grab. So I have content on my SoundCloud that's not to be included in my iTunes, like the Eric Worre stuff, like the Jim Rome stuff. I may want to put some random stuff. I got podcasts from, let me show you. Let me go back. This is pretty simple, right? So far, I just want to show you where your RSS feed, because you're going to want to copy that and put it into, save it on your computer. You're going to need that. So now you know where that is. What I want to do is I want to go back home and show you that we're going to go to an episode. And I want to show you how I don't have, let me reload it, how I don't have some episodes in my iTunes. Such as these, From Rags to Riches, Keep Trying Until, Making the Jump from Student to Teacher. I don't want these in my Life Hacks podcast, but they're still my content, okay? So if I were to go to edit here, on each individual episode, then on edit, and I go permissions, see right here where it says include in RSS feed? If I click that, guess what? It's going to show up on my iTunes within like a day. Okay? If edit. I only have these 3 episodes. If I click edit on these and I go permissions, ta-da, there it is, okay? That's where you want to include this if you want it to fall into your feed, okay? Done. Pretty simple so far. You're controlling everything here. Now, we did the cover art. It was a painful experience, I know. Thank you for sticking around if you did. We did the cover art. I showed you how to include or not include in your RSS feed. I showed you where to get your RSS feed. Now, we're going to talk description. If I go to edit here, here is where you can add your social media links. These little icons just adjust automatically. If you put YouTube, I recommend these 3. Email, YouTube, and your blog. Because your blog shows up on iTunes itself, guys. It's on there. Like if you go on the actual iTunes app, in iTunes, there's a link to your blog. So it's really important to put your blog there. And then just put blog, okay? Now, this is a science here. This is where you modify your title, by the way, in that section. Just to re-guide you. It's on your homepage. You go edit right here for your overall description. Excuse me. Now, this right here is pretty detailed, okay? Pretty darn detailed. I'm going to explain to you the anatomy of that description. I'm going to go quick. This is how you write a proper podcast description. Sentence 1, sentence 2, sentence 3. Now I know it's really small, but I'm going to read it off to you. Maybe I'll make it larger maybe I can include this document in the group, okay? You guys want that in the group? You want me to include this Word document that's what I'll do. I'll turn it into a PDF. I'll just read it now because there's 3 sentences that are really, really, really eye-catching. They're not only eye-catching, that's not what I meant to say. Let me take another sip. They're attention-grabbing. And this is the recommended format by the pros of the pros of the pros. Sentence 1. Start with a statement that your listeners already believe is true. This should be something they already know and care about. Here are a couple of examples. It's hard to balance a full-time job with passion projects. Here's another example. Adopting an animal can be one of the most rewarding experiences of your life. See how it's just one sentence, but it's in your face. It's something you already know. What I did with that, now this is just the title of my podcast, Life Hacks with the Wealthy Trainer. Here's my title. Here's my first sentence. Being broke, unhealthy, and uneducated makes life harder. No kidding, right? So something people already know. Sentence 2. Tell listeners what they can expect to hear each time they hit play on your episode. So it says, share the frequency of the show, introduce the host, explain the credibility, and share the format of the show. Let's look at a couple of examples. Each Tuesday, join Molly Beck, a longtime member of the Side Hustle generation. Let's look at that. Introduction and credibility right there. As she interviews guests who are managing their own entrepreneurial venture on top of their day jobs. Beautiful. Another example. Bob Smith, everyone's favorite celebrity animal rights activist, shares his daily 5-minute insights on what pet owners can do to help their furry best friends thrive in their new home. There we go. It's frequency of the show, introduce the host, their credibility, and share the format of the show. I may have went a little long on this because I say, well, did I? Let me see. No, I did. No, it's pretty good. I think you guys can be critical if you like, but no, because I got approved. I said Welcome to the Life Hacks with the Wealthy Trainer podcast. I want to have my title in here. I want to have it in here. So that's a little bit by choice, but I want this to catch on. I want to brand it within. I want to say the Wealthy Trainer. So I say welcome to and I like welcomes. Welcome to the Life Hacks with the Wealthy Trainer podcast, where Marc Lalonde, aka the Wealthy Trainer, again, I'm using keywords as well, right? So shares some life hacks that have brought him from being homeless, overweight, and lost to becoming rich, fit, and educated. Now, I've done a couple of things here. I've kept a lot of congruency with my brand because for those of you that don't know, me, it's all about wealth, health, and life lessons. That's my brand. So that's why I have categories about how to make money, and then I have categories on how to get healthy, and then I have categories on life lessons learned, which I call random life hacks. So me, it's like money, being broke, unhealthy, uneducated. Then I carry this over. So from being homeless is broke, overweight has to do with health, and lost has to do with life lessons, to becoming rich, which is once again wealth, fit, which is health, and educated, which is I kind of found my way. And then I attack it again in the third sentence. And the third sentence, I'm on the left here again. This third sentence is who this show is for. So I follow that through in my description, but let's look at what they say here. If a potential listener has read this far into your description, they are probably very interested, but you'll want to drive the point home that the show is for them by literally telling them that this show is for you. You want to tell them this show is for you. This is also a chance to use different keywords to describe the show, so that if some listeners looking for your podcast about Texas politics type in Austin, Texas, and some type in Southern elected leaders in their blah, blah, blah. Basically to use keywords, which you'll notice I really attack. So let's look at some examples. Then you'll notice I went a little overboard, but I really did actually. I'm gonna comment on mine because I did go overboard. I'm not sure if you want to take that chance. So let's look at the professionals examples. Example 1. If you have a side hustle, want to start a passion project, or just want to hear some great career advice, this is the podcast for you. I love that. This is the podcast for you. They use it in the second example as well. So example number 2. Whether you want to learn more about adopt, don't shop, are navigating the paperwork process of adopting an animal, or already have an adopted pet to dote on, whatever that means, this is the podcast for you. What does that mean, to dote on? Is that a typo? Some people know. Is Donna double G on here? Donna, you would know this. Okay, here's what I put. Now I really overdid it in my keywords. I said, here's what I did. I really spent a lot of time on this. I said, if you could use a few more dollars, wealth, need to shed a couple of pounds, health, or feel like you have no real direction in life lessons, this podcast is for you. So I kind of went above and beyond by keeping my congruency on my 3 main topics. And, excuse me, in my 3 main topics for myself, the random section, anything can fall in there. That's kind of my life's journey. So if it doesn't necessarily have to do with wealth or health, it falls into my life lessons. Now, this is my brand, okay? I'm not asking you to do this. I'm just explaining what's going on in my brain as I'm writing it out. But if you notice, I'm still following the professional model, okay? And here's where I go into the details. I added this because I didn't want to overstuff this. This podcast is for you. I literally just said, I'm going to tell them what I'm covering because I want keywords. This is the inner marketer in me. So I put this. They approved it, so I am thrilled, okay? I thought maybe this would be a red flag because it's a keyword. It's an attempt at not looking like keywords, but it is keywords. So I put covering but not limited to wealth hacks. Then I put health hacks. Then I put random hacks. But instead of just putting wealth hacks, health hacks, random hacks, I put every subcategory that I talk about. So you see how I'm trying to make it like a sentence? But really, it's like I'm trying to find a loophole to get keywords in there. So I say covering, but not limited to wealth hacks, parenthesis, and then I go online marketing, personal branding, social media, blogging, consulting, sales, network marketing, affiliate marketing, entrepreneurship, small business, comma. So that's my wealth hacks. That's how I make money. That's what I'll talk about, generally speaking. Health hacks, then I go wellness, fitness, nutrition. And random hacks, life experiences, lessons learned, random stuff. Ooh, that took a long time too. I didn't expect this week to take that long. But the description is super important because once that you guys understand you guys understand the basics of this or the basic shell of it. When it comes to this type of thing, I spend time on it. I do, because it's grabbing everything from here and it's bringing it out here. See, look how beautiful that is. It's all there. These are going to pick up. Absolutely, they're going to pick up. My God, are you kidding me? This is in iTunes. Hello. This is crazy. This is amazing. Hey, copy my description. I'm just kidding. It depends what you want to do, but I like being the guinea pig sometimes because it shows you that I got away with a lot here. I got through the gatekeeper, and I got through the gatekeeper with a lot of darn keywords. I'm thrilled with this right now. Okay, so let me see. What did we cover? We covered our cover art, we covered everything. So now, let me come back out to you physically, right? Is that what I have to do? Is that like next? What do we need to do? Do we just need to submit the podcast itself? Is that all we need to do now, is submit the podcast itself? Let me come out to you because I want to share with you. I just want to see if there's any questions, I guess. Or, I don't know. Are we good to go? Well, while I search for the video, because I got to plug in the video, I didn't plug it into the webinar. So let me come back out to you. Here I come. Okay, am I back? This is, is that it? It seems too easy. Oh, bright lights. It seems too easy. Maybe because it was very hard to do. And I'll explain. Well, the Canva was not easy. Would anyone like to hire me as a Canva coach? I think not. What can I say? As a matter of fact, there is something I can say. Are we good? We're good? There is something I can say. That for my for the 30 people that are reselling Octo content, that's a part. You may want to cut this out too. I got to stop saying that, but let's talk about this next Tuesday about cutting out parts of me and integrating parts of you. As a matter of fact, you may want to cut this part out. But I want to tell you this because we're going to go into detail on that. How you will, it sucks being sick, but the show must go on. I'm going to stop saying that. You guys know I'm getting over the virus, and this is why I'm coughing. It's annoying, more annoying to me, I'm sure. People just, they don't care. Hopefully you don't care. When you cut out portions of me, you want to integrate portions of you at times. And the best time to do that is when I'm sharing my screen. If you have Camtasia, which I think all of you do by now, you can just when I share my screen, you can get creative and take over from there. And you could narrate the whole process, okay? I'm just saying that was like getting a root canal, me in Canva right there. I'm not gonna lie, I was scrambling. So that will not be really useful, I don't think, to the end user who buys the course. Mind you, they'll already buy the course, but you can go through that in 2 seconds and you can integrate your own stuff. You can walk through the Canva yourself and input that instead of my utter mess. You probably end up redoing the whole course completely. You probably will. Okay, now I think we're done. All we got to do now is I'm going to go to the video. I found it. It's sitting right here. So I'm going to go to the video where I applied for the podcast. Because once you get all that set up, everything that we did tonight, all the legwork's been done. We cut out your audio. We put in the calls to action. Like, everything's been done. Isn't this beautiful how things are falling into place? So now let's go submit the podcast. Something to note is you do need an iTunes account. Who's got an iTunes account here? Put it in the chat, please. Maybe you can help each other out with that. But as far as I know, I got my iTunes account many years ago. Because, I mean, I've had iTunes forever. So all I did was I edited the email because it was an old email. And that's all I got to say about that. You need an iTunes account because that's how you apply to be in the podcast. As you will see, let me clip the video in. And then the final thing I'm going to do tonight, guys, is I'm going to show you if you need to edit anything, on SoundCloud. For example, for me, you know how I have little emojis on the titles in SoundCloud? Have you guys noticed? I don't know if you guys noticed. Has anyone noticed how I have emojis on the Millionaire in My 20s podcast and on the Unicycle podcast, but I don't have an emoji on the Fear Feeds Fear anymore? Because the emojis, you don't want them on your SoundCloud because they don't convert on the iTunes platform. They come up as a weird, unrecognized character. So when I uploaded my stuff, I'm like, oh no, how do I edit that? All you do is you edit it on your SoundCloud, and then there's a place to go to resync your stuff. That's what I'll show you. So right now I'm plugging in the video of when I applied. So remember, this is being plugged in. This part is not live, which is why I'm referring to, I hope I get approved. I hope I get approved, okay? Just note that. So I'm plugging it in right now. Let's plug it in. Here, it's good to go right now. Okay, so this is the pre-recorded video clip that I'm apparently plugging in on Thursday on the Laboom Squad Session podcast week. And I'm doing this in advance. The pre-recorded video you're watching right now, guys, it is the 21st of March. It's actually Saturday night right now. So I'm doing this from scratch because I need to wait 5 days apparently to get approved or declined. So, I mean, I don't know, how did I do? You guys are on the live Thursday night show, so if I'm plugging this in, I'm assuming it went well. So I'm not going to ramble on to myself here. I've been researching what to do, so let's just do what I've researched. On the live session, I should have showed you guys how to set this up, the description. I'm not going to go over this again. If you forgot to show them a mark, live mark on Thursday the 26th for podcast week, if you forgot, I'm reminding you. Show them all how to do the description, how to do all the settings, okay? I'm not going to go over this now. I'm going to figure out how to put up the application for iTunes. So first thing I'm going to do is I've got my SoundCloud open. I'm going to go to settings. up here, 3 dots. I'm going to go to settings, and I'm going to go to content right here. This is so much fun. It's so new to me, but it won't be by the time I'm teaching you guys on Thursday. So I want to copy my RSS feed. I'm sure I'm going to explain what that's all about, and I'm sure I'm going to go through these categories and all that fun stuff and why I don't include it. I'm going to go through these settings live. Okay, let's go. I'm going to take this, double click. I'm just copying this. Now I have it on my clipboard, which means it's copied. I'm going to go to iTunes. This is where we need to be. iTunes is iTunes. You need an iTunes account, obviously. I'm not sure how much I'm going to go into this on the live Thursday session, but it's just, I think everyone has an iTunes account with your iTunes ID. One thing to note is if I do get approved, it goes, the approval, apparently, I'll say apparently a lot here because I don't know what's going to happen, but apparently goes to the email that your iTunes is connected to. So let's see. Let's try it. Well, let's go for it. I mean, we're in it to win it now. I'm going to go up here. I'm going to go to podcast. Okay. Perfect. It looks good from here. How cool will it be to be on this page, right, guys? So I'm going to go to, okay, right here. I don't know how small this is. I will expand it a little bit. And then I'll shrink it again because I'm not really familiar with this window. Is it working? Are we getting bigger? No, we're not. I'm not going to play around too much. On the right-hand side, there is music here. If you go down, it says submit a podcast, okay? Submit a podcast. It's small, but it's right here under resources and help. I'm going to go submit a podcast. Okay, it's going to open up a new window in your browser. Now here it grabs your Apple ID. It just grabbed mine automatically. So I'm going to put in my, I'm going to be very careful here. I'm talking to myself with this, but I just want to do this as right or properly as I can. I'm going to type in my iTunes password. I go like this, see if, whoa, okay, so I have to verify my phone. Okay, I'm doing that right now. It's just asking me to do this. It's kind of weird. I mean, well, let's be real here. I've never done this, but as I was resetting my Apple ID, because my Apple ID was an old email, because I've had iTunes forever. So as I updated it, this two-factor authentication sends a code to your actual Apple device. You may want to YouTube all this stuff if you like. It throws it on your phone. It doesn't go in the email. Maybe some of you, well, I'll get into it live as I go live, but right now I'm just going through the motions, okay, guys? I'm sure by the time Thursday comes, I'll understand more of what's going on, but right now I just got my code. I'm going to type it in. It just popped up on my phone. Okay. Trust this browser, yes. Okay. Apparently it's pretty simple. Okay, so let's take a look. We're doing this. This is real. Let me read every single word. I'm just kidding. Agree, accept. Will it actually just submit it just like that? Oh, RSS feed. Good. Paste. It should still be on my clipboard. Boom. There we go. Validate. This is kind of cool. It's exciting, actually. This is very exciting. Very exciting. Yo, no way. I'm going to cough. This is so freaking cool. It grabbed everything from my SoundCloud. Everything. Oh, I'm a little, oh, wait, look. I'm excited. It took my episodes that were included in my RSS feed. Okay. Take a breath, Mark. You got, I'm all alone here. I can't, this is the pre-recorded clip, but here we go. You ready? Prepared for submission, submit. Okay, I'm waiting. I don't think, podcast successfully submitted for review. You successfully submitted your podcast for review. Apple will send you an email once the review is complete. They just go, okay. Ah, look how cool that will look. Life hacks with the wealthy trainer. Oh, well, I'm done this video. I guess I just wait. They said 5 days. Video, the plugged in video's done. I'm excited right now. It's Saturday night. Let's go back to the live Thursday mark. Okay, Thursday mark, take it away. Let's find out what happened. Okay, am I back? I mean, I'm sharing my screen, but I'm on the Thursday night live with you guys now. That was the clip. Let me know in the chat if that was clear. Was that clear how to submit your podcast for approval? That's it. It's all there, guys. That's it. So it seemed simple tonight, right? Was it pretty clear? Except for the Canva. I'll keep bringing that up. Except for me struggling in Canva. Like fear feeds fear. Fear definitely fed fear in Canva today. I don't think I ever want to go back in there. I'll have to face my Canva fears. But, okay. Now, I'm on the podcast. I'm on iTunes right now. Once I got approved, I should probably subscribe to my podcast. No, I'm not logged in. Are you sure you want to subscribe? Oh, I am logged in. Yes, subscribe. Yeah, I have one subscriber. I'm not even sure. I'm not going to get into that right now, but check it out. Here's the website link on iTunes. So there you go. That's going to be on your podcast or on your iTunes. Whoops. Let me go back to it because now I need to show you about these emojis. This is what I was talking about. Remember when I said there's no emoji in front of... Let's go to my SoundCloud. See how I have the emoji right here of the money sign? See how I have the emoji of the key? And on Fear Feeds Fear, I took out the emoji. Why did I do that? Because on iTunes itself, let's go back on there, open iTunes. On iTunes itself, look, see the unrecognized character? It's really small. Can you guys see that? Not sure if you can see that. This is, to edit this, you can't edit it here. There's no way to edit it through the iTunes store. So, first thing you need to do, now I'm teaching you here, this is important. If you need to edit anything here, including the descriptions or the titles in the future, you have to go to your SoundCloud, is just the first step. So let's go to SoundCloud. Okay, right here. Okay, SoundCloud. I'm going to go remove the emojis now because I wanted to do it live with you guys. So if I go edit, I take off the emojis here. I go save. I go edit. I take it off. I go save. Okay, then I reload it in my SoundCloud. It's not enough. It's not enough. It will not pick up. Now, whether, maybe some of you know this, whether there's I was going to say an incubation period, whether there's a propagation period, in other words, maybe it's like a domain name type of thing. Maybe it will eventually catch once I refresh it. I'm not sure, but with my research, no, I don't think so. Not on past episodes. Maybe it does, but we need to do what's called like a hard refresh. Okay, hard refresh, and I don't need to explain it. It means you force the change, and the way you do that, you need to open up your browser. you need to go to Podcast Connect. You know, I was in Podcast Connect when I applied for my podcast in the pre-recorded video there. So if you go to podcast, look at the URL up top. podcastconnect.apple.com, enter. It's going to guide you there and it's going to ask you to log in. That's your iTunes account. And once you're in here, it'll show up your podcast. Let it load up. You reload. There it is. Okay. Active. And there is a button here to do it. Where is it? Haha. See what I did? I clicked active right here. Last refresh. Okay. Here it is. Refresh feed. You guys see that? It's quite specific. I had to research for this. And when you say that, it goes refresh life hacks with the wealthy trainer. It's refreshing your RSS feed from SoundCloud. So when you go refresh, it'll say scheduled for refresh, but it says up to 24 hours. So it won't be immediate when you go to your actual iTunes, okay? But if I come back tomorrow, well, let me see, maybe it is ready. No, it takes a while because I kept checking. I'm just going to switch audiobooks. And I'll go back to podcasts. And I'll go find my podcast again. I'm not really familiar with podcasting. I haven't downloaded many podcasts before, so I'm not very versed in this. But there we go. You see, it hasn't refreshed them yet. See the little symbols up here? If I click on my podcast, it hasn't refreshed them yet. But within 24 hours it will. Okay, guys, there you have it. So what I want you to do is I want you to take your podcast URL once you get approved, because I want to all celebrate together, okay? It's going to be amazing. We're all releasing podcasts. If you get declined, please put it in the Laboom Squad group to why you got declined. Let's all learn from each other. And I think this is going to be really, really special. We're all stepping up together in the podcast world. Okay? Pretty straightforward tonight, except for the Canva part. Okay, guys. I love you all. It's the next time we meet is for the second part of creating your school. Then after that, it's going to be already the Alexa. Oh my God, next Thursday is Alexa. Okay. And then after that, it's brand resume and syndication. We'll just go week to week. So right now, I'll just say, guys, you know what to do. You have homework. It's all here. I'll put the replay immediately tonight, okay? I'm not going to wait. So within, it's streaming. So within 5 minutes. 5 minutes, this replay will be in the private Laboom Squad group. Review it and get it done. You're going to need to review this one, obviously. And get your podcast up. I can't wait. And as soon as we put our podcasts up, I'll go put mine up as well. Let's give each other 5-star reviews. And let's throw in a nice big comment. And let's take advantage of that algorithm, okay? Awesome, guys. Let's welcome each other to the podcast world. Who's going to be next? And if you do have a podcast on iTunes and you're in the Laboom Squad, put it in the Laboom Squad group now. We'll start giving you reviews immediately. Let's support each other and climb to the top of that mountain together. I love you guys. I'll see some of you on Tuesday, but I'll see most of you next Thursday when we jump into the home voice world of Alexa and Google Home. Bye-bye now. Love you.